Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R340 server. In this video we're going to specifically focus on RAID. Let's get going. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R340 server. Do us a favor, if you find anything in this video useful, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, let's hop in. So we're going to be continuing our series on the R340. This video is going to be specifically focused on RAID. So what we're going to cover here is all the different compatible RAID cards and software RAID for the R340 server. Then we're going to do a chart that actually compares the differences between all the different RAID cards. Then we're going to actually install an H330, and at the end we're going to configure RAID 5, which realistically is the same steps if you're configuring a different type of RAID as well. So just in general, we're going to configure RAID. So let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so we have laid out all the different hardware RAID options, and we're going to go over all the different options right now. So let's start at the top. The first one not featured here, of course, is a software RAID, and that is the S140. The S140 is an onboard software. It's going to have RAID levels of 0, 1, 5, and 10. There's no cache, of course, since it's software. It's going to have drive speeds of 6 gigabit per second for SATA. The PCIe Gen is not available, of course, and the RAID hardware is, well, it's software. So next we're going to go to the first hardware, which is the H330. That is going to be a pass-through. There's no cache. 6 gigabit for SATA and 12 gigabit for SAS. It's going to have PCIe 3.0, and it's going to be a hardware RAID. Next, we're going to go to the H330. The H330 is going to offer RAID levels of 0, 1, 5, 10, and 50. There is still no cache, similar to the HBA 330, and it's going to have drive speeds of 6 for SATA and 12 for SAS. It's going to be a PCIe 3.0, and it is, of course, a hardware RAID. Next, we're going to move into my personal favorite, which is the H330. And the H330 is not actually shown on the Dell spec sheet, but it is compatible. It's going to have RAID levels of 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60. This is the first RAID that offers cache, and it's 1 gigabyte, and then it's going to have drive speeds that are 6 and 12, 6 for SATA, 12 for SAS. It is PCIe 3.0 again, and it of course is a hardware RAID. Next, we're going to go to the H330P, which is also a very, very popular RAID. It's going to be all the same specs as the H330, so that's going to be 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60. The difference is 2 gigabytes for your cache. It's going to be 6 for SATA and 12 for SAS. PCIe 3.0 again, and of course a hardware RAID. Next up, we have the H340P. The H340P is going to be all the same as the 730 and the 730P, but just way more cache. So it's going to be 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60. But it's going to be 8 gigabyte for cache. It's going to be 6 and 12 again, 6 for SATA, 12 for SAS, and it is PCIe 3.1. And this is, of course, a hardware RAID. So these are all the compatible RAID options for your R340. So now what we're going to do is actually install one, and then we're going to configure RAID. Let's get going. Alright, so now we are going to install an H330. All you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver and your RAID card, of course. One thing I did want to note that I should have mentioned a second ago is, if you notice when we showed all the different options, we did not show a mini mono. Mini monos are not compatible with your R340. You do have to have a PCIe card. The mini monos will not work, and when I open this up, you'll see there's just not a dedicated mini mono spot, but there is a dedicated PCIe slot for your RAID, which is convenient, and that is why you need a PCIe. So let's hop in and go ahead and install this. So first things first, make sure your latch is set to unlock and pop the top. Very simple. So you're going to come back here, and you're going to need to remove your riser, and this is very simple. So you're just going to lift this straight up. You will notice that right here is a dedicated PCIe slot for your RAID, and this is really important because that's where we're going to install it. You don't want to have to waste one of the 2 PCIe slots on your riser. You want to be able to use those for other things like a bigger NIC card, or if you want to add in a GPU or whatever you're looking at doing, you want to make sure that you install your RAID card on the dedicated RAID PCIe. Okay, so what we're going to do So now we're going to go ahead and install our RAID card. So you're going to actually flip it upside down when you actually install it, but first thing we're going to have to do is remove the 2 blue screws. So you're going to grab your Phillips head and you are going to remove them. Now I personally like to use a magnetic screwdriver, and I also like to just use like a regular screwdriver as opposed to an electric one, so that I have a little bit more control and like I can just take it out, and it just makes it a little bit easier because sometimes these screws honestly are a pain in the butt. So I like the magnetic screwdriver. So we're just going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. And now we're going to install our RAID card. So first thing we're going to do is push this back, and we're going to install this into port A. Just clicks in, nice and simple. You can see it's fully in, and then we're going to come down here and we are going to install the card into the dedicated PCIe slot for the RAID. And it just pops in, and you'll see the holes line up perfectly over here. And once we have the card installed, so now I'm going to install our screws. It doesn't line up perfectly, so I actually have to tilt this up a little bit this way to just go ahead and get the back screw in first. And we got that in. Now we're going to go ahead and push our blue one in, just move it a little bit, and now we're fully in. Alright, so now we have our card fully installed, and we just simply need to put our riser back on. So we're going to install the riser back, make sure everything is nice and flush. So everything's nice and flush, and we're good to go. So now that we have installed our card, we're going to go ahead and show you how to configure RAID 5. But again, the steps for RAID 5 will be very similar if you want to configure a different RAID. So this will help you out however you go. Let's get going.
Hey guys, it's Ben with Cloud Ninjas, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to configure RAID 5. You're going to want to make sure that you have a RAID controller installed into your server. Scott showed you how to do this beforehand, so go ahead and follow his instructions. And then once you've installed a RAID controller, you can actually go ahead and configure RAID 5. And not just RAID 5, you can configure other RAID levels as well, but specifically in this video, we're going to be going over RAID 5. You also want to make sure that you have a minimum of 3 drives installed in order to configure RAID 5. This is something that's specific for RAID 5. RAID 0 and RAID 1, they have different minimum drive requirements. So go ahead and research the drive requirements for the desired RAID level that you are looking for, and then just make sure you have that number of drives installed. And if you want to install more than that minimum, then you're more than welcome to. But specifically for this video, you're going to want to need a minimum of 3 drives plugged into your server. So in order to get started, you want to go ahead and boot up your server. And during post, you want to go ahead and press F2 so we can go into System Setup. Once in System Setup, go ahead and scroll down to Device Settings. Once we're in Device Settings, you want to go ahead and click on the option that represents our RAID controller. And inside of this menu, we can go ahead and click on Configuration Management. And then we can click on Create Virtual Disk. Once we're in here, we can go ahead and select our RAID level. So like we said earlier, we're going to go ahead and do RAID 5. We're going to leave unconfigured capacity unchecked, and then we're going to select physical disk. We want to go ahead and change the media type to both, and then apply those changes. And then down here, we want to select all 3 of our drives, and then we want to click Apply Changes. Now we just want to go ahead and click OK. And then we can scroll up and then click Create Virtual Disk, then click Confirm, and then Yes. Then we can just go ahead and click OK again. So really what that was saying was that, hey, if you do this operation, if we create this virtual disk, it'll erase all the data that is on those drives. So if you're okay with erasing the data that's on these drives, or those drives have no data at all, then you're all good to create the virtual disk. Now once that's done loading, there's only one step I like to take just so I can make sure that everything was done properly and that creating this virtual disk did indeed work. So we want to go back to that main menu and then go to Virtual Disk Management. And here we can see where it says Virtual Disk 0, RAID 5. So this is that RAID 5 array that we just created. So as you can see, it did indeed work, and we have successfully configured RAID 5. If you found this video useful, go ahead and leave a like and smash the subscribe. And if you're interested in purchasing a custom-built server, whether it's Dell, HP, Supermicro, Cisco, we have plenty in stock. We also have AMD Ryzen servers, AMD EPYC servers, Intel Xeon scalable servers. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Take care, guys.